All right, let's talk about words. But forget those boring old vocabulary lists you had to memorize in school. Today, we're going to transform a simple list of words into a powerful toolkit for communication. We're going to make these words stick so they're actually there when you need them.
You know that feeling, right? You're in the middle of a great story, or maybe you're writing an important email and you're thinking, there's a perfect word for this, but it's just gone. Well, that's exactly what we're going to tackle right now.
So first up, let's dive into words that don't just describe people. They really capture who they are deep down, their character.
Okay, let's start with a really important one. Philanthropist. See, a philanthropist isn't just a nice person. They are actively, and usually very generously, working to make the world a better place. It's a word that carries some serious weight.
You know, one of the best ways to make a word stick in your brain is to see it next to its total opposite: generous and craven. These aren't just two random words. They represent completely different ways of being in the world. One is all about giving and bravery, and the other? Well, it's about fear in saving your own skin. This is a perfect example of what generosity looks like in the real world. It's not just a feeling, it's an action. It's the act of giving. This one little sentence paints a super clear picture for us.
And then you have this. The word craven here does so much more than just say the soldier was scared. It implies a kind of shameful, contemptible lack of courage. The image it creates is so strong, you're not likely to forget what craven means.
All right, so we've talked about what people are like. Now let's shift gears and talk about words that describe how we communicate. Because, our style of speaking says a ton about us.
Elocution sounds kind of fancy, right? But all it really is the art of speaking well. Think about a great actor or a really compelling speaker. They don't just say the words, they deliver them with this incredible clarity and punch. That is great elocution.
And here we go again with two extremes. A verbose speaker. Man, they might take 10 minutes to tell you something that could have been said in 30 seconds. But on the flip side, you have a laconic speaker. They get straight to the point. Sometimes all it takes is one perfectly chosen sentence.
Oh, this is a feeling we all know too well, right? We've all been there. See, verbose isn't just about using too many words. It's about the effect of those words. It can be confusing and, let's be honest, pretty boring.
And here's the perfect counterexample. Being laconic suggests a certain kind of efficiency, maybe even confidence. It's all about making every single word pull its own weight, nothing wasted.
Okay, let's switch gears. Words don't just sit there, they do things. Let's look at how a few words, when chained together, can tell a whole story, with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Look at how these three words create a full-on narrative. First, you have the sneaky, undermining action, to subvert. Then you get the result, and it's not pretty, a debacle, which is just a total, embarrassing failure. And finally, you have the consequences, the repercussion, the chaotic mess that follows. It's a whole story right there: betrayal, failure, and aftermath, all told in just three powerful words.
For our last section, let's get into words that are all about vibes. The ones that can transport you to a different time, a specific place, or just a powerful feeling.
Halcyon. Doesn't that word just sound peaceful? It's all about that perfect golden time in the past that we tend to look back on, a time of total calm and happiness.
Now, to really make this word yours, connect it to one of your own memories. Seriously, close your eyes and think of a time that was just simple and happy. Those were your halcyon days. And here's a little brain hack for you. Our brains are wired to remember things tied to strong emotions. So when you link a new word to a real feeling, it's way more likely to stick. It's basically neuroscience.
Okay, let's paint two very different pictures with words. A bucolic landscape, that's your charming, rolling green hills, maybe a little farm, just really peaceful and rustic. But a barren landscape is the absolute opposite. We're talking empty, harsh, not much life at all.
See? You read that, and you can practically picture it, can't you? You can almost smell the fresh air. It's that idealized, almost dreamlike vision of country life. That's the heart of bucolic.
And then boom, we're somewhere else entirely. The word barren just hits you with this feeling of total emptiness, a deep lack of vitality. The contrast between these two words couldn't be clearer. So let's pull it all together. We've gone on a quick journey through words that describe people, the way we talk, actions, and even places. We didn't just stare at a list, we explored a whole landscape of language.
So here's the big secret, right? The key takeaway is this. By grouping words into themes, By putting them side by side with their opposites, and by connecting them to stories and feelings, we make them impossible to forget. It's about building connections in your brain, not just cramming in definitions.
Language is a tool, and it's meant to be used. So I've got a challenge for you. Pick just one word from our explainer today. Maybe it's laconic, or bucolic, or debacle, and find a way to use it. In a conversation, in an email, whatever. Just make it yours. So which one is it going to be?